Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We're going to finish up with Timon of Athens today, and Alcibiades is the one that gets to have the last word. Literally, we're hearing from Alcibiades today, but the monologue today is the last bit of the play. So the things that happened, Timon went to live by himself in the forest and refused any help from anyone, and then killed himself. And he refused also to help the senators of Athens when they came asking for help because they knew that Alcibiades was going to attack. He said that he wouldn't help them, but anybody that wanted to come hang themselves from his tree was welcome to do so. And I don't think anybody actually did. But they were fretting, and then a soldier found Timon's epitaph sort of carved on a rock or something like that and took like a rubbing of it and brought it back because supposedly he can't read, even though we got to hear the first two, or if you're reading the play, you get to read the first two lines of the epitaph in Act 5, Scene 3. But now in Act 5, Scene 4, yesterday we had Alcibiades sort of calling out to the senators, like the senators up on the top of the wall, the city wall, and Alcibiades down here, and he's like, come on out, and we've had enough, we're not going to take it anymore, so we're here to tear down the city. And the senators pleaded the case that not everybody in Athens was guilty of these crimes, and did it make sense to destroy the entire city of Athens, or should they just destroy the people who wronged Alcibiades and maybe also Timon? And they also talk a little bit about like the buildings and stuff like that too, which there's a meme going around about how literary nerds are still not over the fact that the Library of Alexandria was destroyed. But it's a decent point when you have, historical monuments or historical documents, stuff like that, that get lost in wars, then you lose all of that history and stuff. So that's sort of the line that the senators take with Alcibiades. They're like, not everybody here is a criminal. Not the entire city deserves to be destroyed, so how about you just destroy the people that were really mean to you? And Alcibiades actually agrees to that, and he's like, okay, we'll just bring out my enemies and Timon's enemies, and we'll take care of them. And at which point a messenger, the soldier who took the rubbing of Timon's epitaph, comes in, and he's like, I found this outside Timon's cave and I can't read it. Can somebody else read it? He hands it to Alcibiades, and Alcibiades says, here lies a wretched corse of wretched soul bereft. Seek not my name. A plague consume you, wicked caitiffs left. Here lie I, Timon, who alive all living men did hate. Pass by and curse thy fill, but pass and stay not here thy gate. These well express in thee thy latter spirits. Though thou abhorr'dst in us our humane griefs, scorn'st our brains flow, and those are droplets which from sparing nature fall, yet rich conceit taught thee to make vast Neptune weep for aye on thy low grave, on faults forgiven, dead is noble Timon, of whose memory hereafter more. Bring me into your city, and I will use the olive with my sword. Make war breed peace, make peace stint war, make each prescribe to other as each other's leech. Let our drums strike. And that's the end of the play. So the first bit is he's reading the epitaph where as Timon was writing his own epitaph, he ends up cursing anybody who might actually come to read it. But then Alcibiades pays his own little bit of a tribute to Timon. He's like, yeah, this is who you were in your later days, but you used to be a great man, and we're going to remember you as a great man. So he then says to the senators, bring me into the city, and I will help make peace, and we can all help each other heal. And that's the end of the play. So it's some of the reasons why this play isn't done very often, we think, is that it is kind of like beating a dead horse in terms of, so many of the characters don't have actual names, so it very much is a play about archetypes, and then this one guy, Timon. And the evils that money can do and the evils that men can do, and how friendship isn't treated, or friendship isn't honored and respected the way that maybe it should be, and the differences between the rich and the poor, because you had the senators and all of Timon's friends refusing to help him, whereas all of Timon's servants thought that he was the most wonderful man and they would have given him money if they had it to give, all these sorts of things. So it's not subtle what this play is trying to say, which might make it not as much fun to go see in a theater. And from my own perspective, it does get a little bit tiring to have Timon be so grumpy for 2 full acts with all these people coming and trying to talk to him and him just cursing all of them. Comedy happens in 3s, but we got about 5 out of him, which just gets a little long for my taste, but that's fine. It's good. But also, some people have problems figuring out this play because it's called Timon of Athens, and we have this character Timon who goes from being generous and optimistic and kind to pessimistic and mean and cursing everyone, and he doesn't get any sort of redemption. It's just like a straight downward trajectory until he kills himself. But then you get Alcibiades, who was pleading for the soldier's life at the beginning of the play, kind of being an honorable man, who gets scorned by the town of Athens and then wants to attack Athens, but then gets to have the moment of forgiveness at the end. So he gets some sort of resolution to what he's after, what he's going for. So it's an interesting sort of role reversal there. And one might wonder if Timon hadn't killed himself and left this lovely epitaph that reached Alcibiades just as he was going to kill a bunch of people in Athens, would Alcibiades have gone ahead and completely ransacked the city? We don't know, but maybe watching Timon's decline helped Alcibiades realize that he needed to be better than that, and introduced him to, or not introduced him, but refamiliarized him with the necessity of forgiveness and mending fences and healing wounds and that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm curious to see or hear what y'all thought of Timon of Athens. It's an interesting play. It's not one that I necessarily knew before, but I know it now. I don't know if I'll be revisiting it again. Who are we kidding? I'm going to revisit again at some point in my life because that's just who I am. But anyway, enough of Timon. Tomorrow is new play day, and we start in on Titus Andronicus, which is known as one of Shakespeare's gorier plays. So if you are one with a weak stomach, maybe time your meals accordingly to when you're going to watch the episodes of Shakesyear. But anyway, closing the book on Timon, opening the book on Titus tomorrow, and I will see you then for that. Mwah.